Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to talk to you about a very debated topic, whether to invest in mutual funds or to put the money in unit-linked insurance plans. If you look at mutual fund distributors, they will always advise you to park money in SIP, stating that you get higher returns. Whereas if you look at the insurance agents, they will push you to invest in ULIPs, probably because it gives you additional benefits, and they will claim that the returns are at par. But I'm not trying to take any side here, although I have myself have my own firm, which is Premier Wealth, and I do provide holistic wealth management services, which includes mutual fund distributorship as well as insurance advisory along with tax planning. But the intent of this video was to provide accurate knowledge, which is free from any kind of bias, and I made it as objective as possible. So let us quickly take an example, which I would like to share my screen and show to you. So if you look at let's say you make a 20,000, I'm just talking about a plain vanilla SIP, no annual step up. Of course, step up will create its own glory in terms of the magic that unfolds with the power of compounding. But if you take a plain vanilla SIP monthly, 20,000 a month, and a very moderate return. Of course, don't compare this return figure with what has been happening over the last 2 months, because over the last 2 months, unfortunately, the market has actually gone an overdue correction, I would say. But these are spikes. This will come and go in the long term. As I always say, the market has only one route, which is upward. If you compare a decade or more ago, you had the equity index to be around 11,000. Today we are at 23, 24, right? So that itself is an endorsement of the fact that over the longer term, things are looking bright for you always. And that's why I always believe that long-term investing is value investing. Now, if you look at the picture here, so if any person is putting 20,000 monthly into SIP, I've taken a very modest estimate of 16% based on the analytics that I keep doing around mutual funds. And if you take an annualized 16% return, then over 15 years, I've just taken 15 years, you would be investing 20,000 a month into 180 months, which is 36 lakh rupees. Now, if you try to find out the future value that it grows to, which I've also checked with two alternate methods, both are giving the same result. You will be growing I mean, your corpus will be growing to almost about 1.47 crores. Now, please remember, therefore, the gain that you're making is from a capital gains perspective. If I'm just taking an absolute figure, I have not taken the index cost, without leaving those calculations aside, on a raw annual basis, you have a gain of 1.11 crores. And if you take the tax liability over 1,25,000 rupees, the taxability is 12.5%. So you will have about 14 lakhs of 13.81 lakhs of taxation. So your net you're taking home about 97 lakh 93,000. Now let's pull down it further. Let's pull it down further, because you might have more taxes to pay when you actually compare the dates on which mutual fund units were bought versus when they were sold, and index cost and blah blah blah. Let's say, in fact, you might pay lower taxes, but I'm putting it down to, let's say, 97 lakh rupees that you are managing to build for yourself over the 15-year period. Now, on the contrary, if you make an investment of the same amount in ULIPs, the return would be shade lower. Please remember that unit-linked insurance plans could be slightly more expensive than the expense ratios that are brought about by the mutual funds, and that's because of the mortality charges and high costs, right? So the return on an average, if you see over the last few years, you will see it is about 1.25 times lower. So I've taken still 12.5% annualized return, and you will build a corpus of about 1.04 crore rupees. Now, 1.04 crore rupees against an investment of 36 lakh rupees makes a gain of 68 lakh rupees. But the good thing here is, since your annual premium does not exceed 2,50,000 rupees annually, there will be no tax liability in case of ULIPs. And therefore you are taking home practically 68, 69 lakh rupees. So if you compare mutual funds with SIP, yes, in mutual funds you will probably take away about 20 to 25 lakh rupees extra. But if that's the value that you place on your life, then I think there is a question mark. So if I want to think purely from a wealth accumulation perspective, then definitely mutual funds is the way to go in terms of SIPs. But if you have to place a value on your life, if you have to think about your family, if you have to think about your child who's probably wanting to do something big in terms of his career, in terms of your wife who's going to stay behind after you're not there, you need a corpus to build for yourself also. So you must think wisely about insurance before it is too late. And that's why, even though the from a mathematical and from a wealth perspective, mutual funds in this case seems much brighter than insurance. But please remember, insurance will come with accidental death benefits and death cover, which mutual funds will not provide to you. So, and of course, there are guaranteed additions. But mind you, this is only in the event or circumstance that you have already not purchased an insurance policy which is good enough, and if you have a good 3-4 crore cover with you for your family, very good, done. But if you have not, then probably this is the right time to think about it. Of course, mutual funds, I always recommend, is the best way to invest, provided you close your eyes for the next 15, 20 years, you will see the magic of compounding, power of compounding. But at the same time, do not neglect life insurance. Do not neglect health insurance, because place a value upon your life, if not for yourself, for your family. I hope I made it clear, and I hope it made sense. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.